die Verbrennung der Amerikaner.
What is up, my stunning mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the 4 Joop Wow fragrances that were released in Australia. But before we talk about that, I will be mentioning my fragrance of the day, and that is Calvin Klein's Defy Eau de Parfum. This is one of those unexpectedly amazing compliment getters. I had 3 people at the cafe today compliment me on this one. Think of a more leathery Dior Sauvage and you've got a good idea of what this one smells like. You're going to get bulk compliments for it, and the bottle design is pretty great as well. I love the look of this one with the gradient. Clear at the bottom, goes up to like a deep blue and then a black. Very affordable as well. For less than $90 Australian, you can get 200 ml of an ultra performative, monstrous compliment getter in Calvin Klein Defy the Eau de Parfum. So if you haven't checked this one out, I highly recommend it. Lash out and get the bigger bottle because it's much better value, as are all Calvin Klein 200 ml fragrances. So we're going to be looking at the 2 women's Joop Wow fragrances first, starting with Joop Wow Eau de Toilette for women. And here is the bottle. Love the look of this one. Dark, edgy, deep purple. I just love the presentation. It looks really sophisticated. And I've already sprayed them on a tester strip. You get this really rich red rose note. You've also got like a dark patchouli note here. And it comes across a little bit like a nice glass of red wine. If you've got the right kind of aesthetic for this, even a man could pull this one off pretty easily. It is marketed towards women, but I do believe the 2 women's Joop Wow fragrances here are both unisex. If you wear a lot of black, if you've got like a lot of black jackets, black jeans, black shirts in your rotation, I would recommend checking this one out just because of that really rich patchouli note here. This is the sort of fragrance that I'd imagine Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine to wear. So imagine that sort of vibe, that sort of aesthetic, and you've got a pretty good idea here. Performance is solid at 8 hours plus, and that's with 3 sprays. You can pick it up here in Australia for about $50 on sale. Next up is Joop Wow Eau de Parfum Intense for women. I don't like the aesthetic for this one quite as much, but it's still good. And on the tester strip, it's just a richer experience, slightly spicier. You almost get a touch of like an expensive leather handbag to it. Leather isn't an official listed note, but I do get like this hint of like expensive leather. But that patchouli and then the focus on that red rose note, it smells incredible. Performance for this one is 12 hours plus with 3 sprays. Again, this is another unisex scent for the dark sort of individual, the one with the dark aesthetic. If you like your red roses, if you like your patchouli and you like your red wine, then these 2 Joop Wow women's fragrances are going to be absolutely worth checking out. If I had to pick between the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum, I'm going to have to go with the Parfum just because it's a richer experience. You've got a hint of that warm, spicy quality to it as well, and that expensive leather note. But they're both pretty solid options. This one can be found for about $60. I've seen it on clearance at Priceline for $30. At that price, it's a no-brainer. Look, there's going to be a lot of my mates here on YouTube, men in particular, that aren't going to want to try these just because they're for women. Get out there, try them on tester strips, especially if you like your dark and edgy scents. Both of those Joop Wow women's scents are worth checking out. Next up, we've got Joop Wow Eau de Toilette for men. And here's the bottle design. Not the biggest fan of this one. At least the presentation. And on the tester strip, aromatic and vanilla. I get a couple of herbal notes here, like almost an absinthe quality, a wormwood quality, sort of artemisia-ish. It's a decent fragrance, but it's nothing incredible, it's nothing amazing. I much prefer the two women's ones to this. The vanilla is pretty prominent though, so if you're after like an aromatic vanilla fragrance, this is probably going to be worth checking out. There's a hint of spice to it, and that's nice as well. But yeah, it's more of a green aromatic vanilla fragrance. You've got a touch of sort of a boozy vibe here as well. Almost like a rum quality, but it's sort of more leans in the direction of like an absinthe or like an anise-based spirit. Not quite ouzo, but you sort of get what I mean. It's decent again, but nothing amazing. And last but not least, we've got Joop Wow Eau de Parfum Intense for Men. This is the better of the two Joop Wow fragrances as far as the aesthetics go. And then the bottle here. I'll just show you a comparison. Much better. And on a tester strip. It smells like a spiced chai candle. It's got a little bit of nuttiness to it from an almond note. I get a bit of vanilla here as well. If you've ever gone to a cafe and you've opened up a bag of chai, this smells like chai, man. This smells incredible. This is very unisex. If you're a woman, they or them, and you love the note of chai, if you like the smell of chai tea, chai lattes, spiced chai in particular, you're going to adore this fragrance. Performance for this one is 12 hours plus. It's very performative. Yeah, it's very Moorish. You get a slight boozy quality here, rich vanilla, and yeah, that spiced chai quality. It's significantly less aromatic than the Eau de Toilette, and it beats it. It beats the hell out of it. Like, it's not even close. This is probably equal second favorite along with the Eau de Toilette women's one, but of all four of them, if I had to pick one, it's going to be Joop Wow Eau de Parfum Intense for women, and that's this one right here. It's just so rich, dark, with that rose and the patchouli. Rose and patchouli are a match made in heaven. They're elegant, feminine, sophisticated, and dark when paired together and used as effectively as they are here. All four of these are probably worth checking out, but if you're going to skip one, I personally would skip Joop Wow Eau de Toilette for Men. There's just, aside from that vanilla note and the aromatic quality, there's just not a huge amount to love here. At least, not in my opinion. So if you've ever worn any of these fragrances before, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.